And so there are 8 different kinds of essays. And so without further ado, if you have no more questions, I'm going to share my screen. Where did sharing the screen go? Oh, that's not good. Oh, there it is. Okay, share my screen, which has a lot of stuff on it, which I didn't. Okay. So today we're going to talk about different kinds of essays. Now, before I go over that, I'm going to say that for the Week 5 forum, you just have to hand in your rough draft of your essay narrative, your narrative essay, and give peer reviews of each other's paper. And so I also put in the Week 5 forum how to do a peer review. So it's a review of previous week's lecture. Next week, in the Week 6 forum, we will go over various kinds of revision. And so in a Week 6 forum, I call it the revision forum. So when we revise our essays, we go through 2 steps. So here you have the 3 stages of the writing process. You have pre-writing, in which you write your outline, writing, in which you write your rough draft, and then rewriting, which has 2 other steps. And so rewriting is the last step of the writing process. And so the 2 steps of the rewriting part is revision. And revision is where we correct for our essay structure and thesis. So we always check our essay structure first. We want to make sure that our thesis statement is the last sentence of the first paragraph. We make sure that the introduction has a hook, 5 background sentences, your thesis statement, and then you got to make sure that your 3 body paragraphs match your thesis. The topic sentence matches the thesis statement. And then for the conclusion, you repeat the thesis statement as your first sentence, and then you summarize your essay in 5 sentences. So that is the 5-paragraph essay structure. So the first thing you check for under revision is you make sure you have a solid essay structure. And when you're doing peer review of someone else's paper, the first thing you check is to make sure that that other person's paper has a good essay structure. After you make sure that the person has good essay structure, then you do something called proofreading and editing. So that's the last stage of the writing process, of the rewriting process, where you check for grammar, mechanics, and APA errors. That's the last thing that you do. And then when you've done all of that, you can have somebody else look over your paper. So next week, we're going to go over various ways in which you can revise your paper. And so here is the revision worksheet that we will be going over next week. All right, these are the different ways in which you can revise your paper. Read out loud method, to read your paper out loud. Scissor method, cutting up your paragraphs to make sure that each of the paragraphs have 5 to 7 sentences. Or do you print out your paper to look at it? That's the print out method. Have a person read your paper. Reading your paper backwards, also known as glossing. Now, some students tell me they swear by that. I've never personally read my paper backwards, but some people tell me that's a great way to revise your paper. That take a break method, where you take a break from your paper and then you come back to your paper after you've taken a walk. Specific focus method, in which you focus on just one grammar, you revise for one grammar mistake after another. So first you would look for all the comma usage, make sure all your comma usage is correct. Then you check to make sure all your quotation marks are correct. That's called specific focus method. And then peer review feedback. And so whatever peer review feedback you get, you incorporate that feedback to help you have a better final draft. And then the newest one, which I haven't put in here, is it is okay for ChatGPT. I've had one student write her entire essay using ChatGPT, and we cannot use ChatGPT to write our essays for you, and we cannot use ChatGPT for forum responses. However, it's okay to use ChatGPT if you want to write an outline of your paper, if you want ChatGPT to help you write a thesis statement. But basically, when I'm writing a book on this, it's okay to use ChatGPT to come up with ideas, write outlines, and to correct grammar. But you still have to write your own paper. So basically, if we're going to go over the three this part I'm going to write into the future for my notes because ChatGPT is so recent. So I've used some of ChatGPT in order to give feedback. So if you get stuck and you don't know what feedback to give someone, you can put in that person's essay, but don't put in that person's name. You can put in that person's essay and then say give peer feedback, give feedback on this essay on how to improve it, and then you'll get. So if you're stuck on it, you could do that. So you would take out that person's name her Jane Doe, name everybody Jane Doe, and then stick in the essay, and then you can have peer review. So that's another way of using ChatGPT. The only thing I tell students the two things you cannot use it for is forum responses and have ChatGPT write your essay for you. Those are the two no-nos, because that leads you to plagiarism and big fat zeros. And also Fortis College is going to have Turnitin, because Unicheck got bought up by Turnitin, and Turnitin is a plagiarism checker, and it can detect AI material. And actually I could just read someone's paper and I could know it's AI, because AI has a certain way of the way it words. And so this person, the one student that I saw, has a 100% AI. So one of my students from the two classes, who shall remain nameless, did that. So that's why I have to warn students, don't use ChatGPT to write your entire essay. But you could use it for outlines and revision. So that's what we're going to discuss for week 6. So I will write all of that in. I'm going to write more on the revision worksheet about ChatGPT. Anyway, so there's a proper way to use it, there's an improper way to use it, so I will teach that to you next week, because you can use it for ChatGPT, that is for revision. You can use it for pre-writing and rewriting. You don't use it for writing. That's basically it. So that's very simple. So this week's lecture is going to be about different kinds of essays. So any questions so far? No questions. So there are 8 kinds of essays to write in English. So in this class, we will go over the narrative essay, the comparison-contrast essay, and the persuasive essay. And today's lecture goes over the other 5 kinds of essays that also exist in English that we do not have time to go over in class. So these 8 kinds of essays, which is in I think I gave it to you as essay flowcharts, and if not, I will email it to everybody. But that's what we're going to go over. So when you do these different kinds of essays, these are different kinds of ways in which you can express yourself in whatever it is that you want to write. You can even use these structures for email, business letters. It's not just to write an essay for your composition class. So cause and effect essay. What is a cause and effect essay? Sasha? Can you tell from the title, what is a cause and effect essay? So a cause and effect essay shows the cause and effect of a topic. So in one essay, you would write about the causes of a topic, and then in another essay, you could write about the effects of the topic. So example topics would be the causes of COVID-19, and then another essay would be the effects of COVID-19. And then a definition essay defines the 3 aspects of the main idea, like what is love, what is freedom. A classification essay classifies people or things into groups, such as different kinds of students who attend Fortis, different kinds of foods to eat for better sleep. A comparison-contrast essay, which is what you will be writing for essay 2, means that you compare 2 similar things, like you compare 2 musicians, you compare 2 soft drinks. Persuasive versus argumentative essay, you convince the reader of your point of view. So then you're going to go to the procon.org website in order to find your topics. That's for your week 9 and week 10 forum. So you're going to be doing that one. An example illustrative essay solves a problem or gives examples or illustrations of a topic. A descriptive essay describes a topic, like why Los Angeles is a great place to live. A process essay is a how-to essay, such as how to lose weight, how to get rich. An expository essay informs or educates the reader about the topic. So you have to realize that all of these essays are expository essays because they all inform you about a topic and they all teach you about something. But then in this lesson, we're going to learn about all the different kinds of expository essays that inform the reader of a topic, because there are different ways in which we express ourselves to inform people about what something is about. And then the essay 1 that we're doing right now is the narrative essay. That is an essay that's based on the life of the writer. In other words, based on your life experience. Why I became a nurse, in my case, why I became a teacher, the most embarrassing event in my life. And also for the essay 1, the most common mistake I'm seeing is that you have to write why you're writing the essay, because otherwise you're just writing a story. When we write an essay, we want to make a claim. There's a main reason, one central idea that ties your entire story together. You have to tell me, what is the moral of your story? What life lesson did you learn from this experience? So if your life story is about I became a nurse, then you have to tell me what life experiences or what reasons. Either you tell me about your reasons, or you talk about the moral of the story, what life lessons. So you would say that by getting married, by having my child at an early age, I learned responsibility. That's a life lesson. I learned to be selfless. I learned that my child's needs comes before my needs. I cannot go partying anymore with my friends. I cannot just make excuses and not do my homework. Instead, my whole life is now centered around taking care of my child. His needs come before mine, so I must learn responsibility. So that's an example of the moral of the story. Then you go ahead and tell your story about how you had your kid at an early age. Then you had to learn responsibility by going back to school so that you could have a stable career to give a future for the kid. Whereas before you had the kid, all you thought about was, let's go party and not let our parents know about it type thing. Suddenly there's a shift, a major shift in your life. So basically that's one kind of essay, a narrative essay. But basically for your thesis statement, that's the main thrust, main idea. So you're going to place your thesis statement as the last sentence of the first paragraph and the first sentence of the last paragraph. So that is what's missing in most people's stories. So that is what differentiates a story versus an essay. When we write an essay, we have one main idea, and then we use the body paragraphs to back up that main idea. When we write a story, it's just a chain of events of what happened to you. Day 1, I went to school. Day 2, I got homework. Day 3, I flunked a test, for example. So that could be a story. And then a essay would be the main life lesson I learned by flunking a test is that you have to go through failure to understand a hardship, to overcome hardship. Then you tell the story of how you overcame a hardship. Do you understand what I'm talking about? Yeah, so that was the main mistake. So essay versus a story. So when we write an essay, we make a claim, then we back up that claim with 3 reasons. Then those 3 reasons become our body paragraphs. When we write a story, we just write about the events of what happened. So that's the difference. Okay, so let's go and get into this is the essay flowcharts that I created for my writing classes. And so when you do a cause and effect essay, you have one main idea. The effects of World War II on China were widespread destruction, countless deaths, and massive evacuation of entire cities. So this is the thesis statement. In other words, this is the sentence that's going to go as the last sentence of the first paragraph, and it's the main idea of your essay. So here, the effects of World War II is widespread destruction. Then body paragraph 1 becomes widespread destruction. Then the countless deaths. Body paragraph 2 becomes countless deaths and massive evacuation of entire cities. And body paragraph 3 becomes massive evacuation of entire cities. So that the body paragraphs match your thesis statement. So when you have matching body paragraphs to a thesis statement,
I forgot about
that's known as 5-paragraph essay structure. So that is and that main principle is the same in all your different kinds of essays. Do you understand that? Did you learn this in high school? Yeah, do you remember this from high school? Clearly? or does everyone forgot about it? I think everyone's forgot about it. And
Yeah, I forgot about it.
oh, but now it's coming back to you, right? No? No, I guess not. Cause and effect. So that's here you can either write about the effects in one essay, or you write about the causes. So here you have cause, thesis statement. So your thesis statement has to have topic plus controlling idea plus cause 1, cause 2, cause 3. Then cause 1 becomes body paragraph 1, cause 2 becomes body paragraph 2, cause 3 becomes body paragraph 3. So here you write about the effects. Here you write about the causes of World War II. And then here you write about the effects of World War II. Notice how it would be a different essay. So here you would write effect 1, effect 2, effect 3. So the effects of World War II was widespread destruction, massive evacuation, and countless deaths. And so that would be effect 1, effect 2, effect 3. And then the next kind of essay is known as the classification essay. So a classification essay is when we talk about many different kinds of something. And so a classification essay is very common in your major, okay? When you're going to write about different kinds of enzymes, different kinds of proteins, different kinds of chemicals, and so on and so forth. And so here, that's known as a classification essay. And here I'm just going to use a non-science example. On the road, there are many kinds of drivers: careful drivers, reckless drivers, and angry drivers. And so this will be your thesis statement. And then you have body paragraph 1, you have on the road, careful drivers. Then you have reckless, drunk drivers. And then you have angry drivers. And so your body paragraphs will be the reasons of your thesis statement. Then your thesis statement will be the last sentence of the first paragraph and the first sentence of the last paragraph. So does everybody understand classification essay? And then the next one is still classification essay. It's group 1, group 2, group 3. Because in a classification essay, we classify groups, people, or when we classify things and people into groups. And so here you have the topic plus controlling idea plus group 1, group 2, and group 3. So that is a classification essay. Everybody get that? Any comments? And then the next one, this is what you're going to write for your essay 2. You're going to be writing for weeks 7, 8, 11, 12. Comparison contrast. So when you write a comparison contrast essay, you're going to compare and contrast two things. So you're going to compare and contrast two cities, two people. You got to compare and contrast two similar things. So New York is a better place to live than Los Angeles because New York has better food, entertainment, and transportation. So this is your thesis statement. And then here, your thesis statement become your 3 reasons. And so here, New York has better food. So here you have body paragraph 1. New York is a better place to live because of the food. Then New York is a better place to live because of entertainment. And then here, New York is a better place to live because of transportation. And so once again, the 3 body paragraphs, the 3 reasons of your thesis statement match your thesis statement. So that is known as a comparison contrast essay. And then another kind of comparison contrast essay, this was known as the alternate method. Okay, so the alternate method is just like the 5-paragraph essay. So that's no different. But then another method for comparison contrast is known as the block method. So here I'm using the exact same topic. So you would write about, so New York is a better place to live than Los Angeles. So you're going to write about better food, better entertainment, and better transportation, all in one paragraph about New York. Then in the next one, in the next paragraph, you're going to write in the same order, Los Angeles food, Los Angeles entertainment, and Los Angeles transportation, all in one paragraph. And you got to make sure that each paragraph has 5 to 7 sentences. Now, if you're the kind of person who talks a lot like me, I would prefer to do this method because then I can write 5 to 7 sentences about nothing but food. I can write 5 to 7 sentences about nothing but entertainment and 5 to 7 sentences about transportation. Whereas in this one, I have to squeeze in food, entertainment, and transportation all in one paragraph, except I'm talking about New York. And then I would squeeze in everything about Los Angeles in another paragraph. So this, and then if you use this method, you will have 4 paragraphs, okay, instead of the 5. So you have the choice for your second essay of using either the alternate method or the block method. So this you'll be doing for weeks 7, 8, 11, 12. And if you're going to use the block method, you should label your paper block method so that everybody will know what kind of method you're using, and we could all learn from how you wrote your paper. Okay, does everybody understand the difference between the alternate method and the block method? Yeah? Okay. So that's going to be for your we're not going to be doing definition essay, but it exists. So a definition essay answers the question, what is love? What is freedom? What constitutes a successful student? And so here I said, what does the word qi mean in Chinese? So I'm breaking down a definition of a word. So the word qi in Chinese, the word qi has 3 meanings in Chinese. It means the extension of one's soul. It also means gaseous breath, and it could also mean literally your breath. And it all depends on the different accents. Qi, 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 qi. So in Chinese, it's all about musical notes. And so one musical note, qi, stands for extension of one's soul. Another musical note, it stands for gaseous liquid. And in another musical note, it means one's breath. So here you have the 3 definitions, and then it becomes your body paragraph. So body paragraph 1 is definition 1. Body paragraph 2 is definition 2.
I don't know.
And body paragraph 3 is definition 3.
A special feeling for somebody.
So if you wanted to say, how would you define love? How would you define love, to love someone? What would be your 3 definitions?
What does love mean to you?
Anybody? Derek, how would you describe what is love?
I feel like that's a loaded question.
Well, how would you describe it?
I don't know. A special feeling for somebody.
Okay, that's 1. And what's number 2? Anybody else?
What does love mean to you?
Yes. What does love mean? Yeah. What is the definition of love? I could have just said, what is the definition of freedom? Or what is the definition of what constitutes a good wife? So love is special feeling, self-sacrifice. Okay, that was what some other students said. In other words, you sacrifice yourself. And devotion. Okay, I think those would, so let's say those are the 3. So here you have self-sacrifice, devotion, and I forgot what the third one was. And that would be the definition of what is love. So what is anything is what you would call a definition essay. What is a molecule? So then you would have the 3 definitions of the molecule, and then the 3 definitions will come out here. So you can use a definition essay for your science papers. You can use it for what constitutes a good businessman, or that sort of thing. So this can be used for your outside of this. So here you have a thesis statement. So a definition essay, you have a topic plus controlling idea, and then definition 1. So you're defining a word or a concept. So something, not something abstract, like what is freedom? What is freedom of speech, for instance? So you have definition 1, the ability to say whatever you want, freedom to say whatever you want, I think what it is. You could always look that up. And if you have trouble coming up with your definitions, you could always Google it. You can Google, in the Google search, definition of freedom, and then it will give you a bunch of definitions, and then you choose the 3 definitions that most resonates with you, and then that's how you would write your definition essay. Okay, so that's how you would write a definition essay. A descriptive essay. A descriptive essay means that you describe an event, you describe a person, and then you give 3 descriptions. So to celebrate Chinese New Year, my family plans a big reunion, has a big dinner, and hands out money in red envelopes to the children. So here, that's the thesis statement for a descriptive essay. And so here, to celebrate Chinese New Year, you plan a big reunion, you have a big dinner, and you hand out red envelopes to the children. And so here you have the body paragraphs, and then the body paragraphs, body paragraph 1 means you plan a big reunion, body paragraph 2 means you have a big dinner, and then body paragraph 3 you hand out. So that is a descriptive essay in which you have description 1, description 2, and description 3. You have topic plus controlling idea plus description 1, description 2, and description 3. So that is known as a descriptive essay. An illustrative essay, some unusual, so illustrative essay, it's very similar. An illustrative essay is very similar to a descriptive essay. But the difference is, while the descriptive essay simply describes something, an illustrative essay not only describes something, but it can also solve a problem. It shows you how something is done. And so some unusual places to get married are under the water, on top of a roller coaster, and in a Star Trek spaceship in Las Vegas. And so here you have a description of a marriage under the water, a marriage in a roller coaster, or a marriage in a Star Trek spaceship in Las Vegas. And I remember I visited the Star Trek spaceship in Las Vegas, and there's a 2-year waiting list for people who want to get married on the Star Trek spaceship in Las Vegas. So here you have another way of saying illustrative essay is example essay. And so when you have an illustrative essay, you have topic plus controlling idea plus example 1, example 2, and example 3. And so body paragraph 1 is example 1, body paragraph 2 is example 2, body paragraph 3 is example 3. A persuasive essay. So you're going to be writing a persuasive essay in your week 9 and week 10 forums. And you can find your topics for your persuasive essay in the procon.org website. So here, a persuasive essay is when you want to convince the reader of your point of view. And so here, all teachers should be paid more money to show respect to the teachers, to prevent teachers from quitting, and to attract young people to teaching. And that would be your thesis statement. That would be the last sentence of the first paragraph and the first sentence of the last paragraph. And then here you've got the 3 reasons. The 3 reasons of your thesis statement then become your body paragraphs. So all teachers should be paid more money to show respect to teachers. So that becomes body paragraph 1. To prevent teachers from quitting, that would be body paragraph 2. And to attract young people to teaching. So that would be body paragraph 3. And then for each of the body paragraphs, you're going to write 5 to 7 sentences. And so when you have a thesis statement with matching body paragraphs, then you have essay coherence. And then for the conclusion paragraph, you're going to repeat the thesis statement as the first sentence and then summarize your essay in 5 sentences. So same thing with an argumentative. So when you have a argumentative or a persuasive essay, you have topic plus controlling idea plus reason 1, reason 2, and reason 3. So reason 1 becomes body paragraph 1, reason 2 becomes body paragraph 2, and reason 3 becomes body paragraph 3. So this is known as a persuasive argumentative essay. A process essay. A process essay tells you how something is done. How to. Anything how to is a process essay. How to get rich, how to lose weight, how to be a good wife, how to be a good husband. And so to impress the boss. So how to be a good worker. So how to impress the boss. So to impress the boss, one needs to dress professionally. One needs to take initiative. And one needs to always be enthusiastic about work. So body paragraph 1, one needs to dress professionally. Body paragraph 2, one always needs to take initiative. And in body paragraph 3, one needs to always be enthusiastic about work. So this is known as a process essay, where you have topic plus controlling idea plus step 1, step 2, step 3. So here to impress the boss. Step 1 is to dress professionally. Step 2, take initiative. And I forgot what step 3 was. Step 3 was always be enthusiastic about work. So step 1, step 2, step 3. So that is known as a process essay. And then this today's lecture is very, very short. And this is the last part of this essay. You're like, really? It's over? And I go, yep, that's it. That's it. This is really, really short. And then the very last kind of essay is known as a problem solution essay. A problem solution essay is where you state the problem and then you state the solution. Okay? And when you you spend the first half of your essay stating the problem, and then the second half of your essay stating the solution. And this is also known as a proposal. Any kind of business proposal, research proposal, all uses the problem solution formula. So when you're going to write a research paper, if you're going to do a business proposal of you want that company to hire your company to do a job, then you would submit a proposal, business proposal. And so this is how you would write a business proposal. First, you state the problem, climate change, background. Temperatures are getting hotter, causing extreme weather like hurricanes, floods, or droughts. Purpose, what to do to mitigate the effects of climate change. And then thesis statement. So then here, it's very similar to a process essay. To solve the problem of climate change, nations need to band together to implement solution A, solution B, solution C. Then solution A, B, and C will become your body paragraphs. And at my other school, their very first essay is to write a problem solution essay. So they have to write about how to clear out their closet, how to get your neighbors to pick up the dog do of their dogs, and how to have how to have time management, okay? How to have time for school and family. That's the most popular topic at my other school. So this is it. And then the last part of your essay would be about what is the solution to the problem. And that's it. That's the end of this very, very short. This week's lesson is very, very short, mercifully short. Ha ha ha. And those are the different kinds of essays that you can write in English. And then next week, I'm going to go over the week, what is it, week 6, 7, week 5? Well, I'm going to go over the next essay, whatever that essay is. I can't remember off the top of my, I think that we're doing week 5, this week 7. Yeah, so next week, I'm going to go over the week 7 essay, which is going to be about sentence structure. So did you learn a lot about different kinds of essays?
Yep.
Did you already know all of this already and this is just a review, or was this all new to you?
It's just like
This is a review.
I forgot about something, so.
Yeah, in my other school, I have a kid just out of high school. So when I'm teaching something, she goes, oh yeah, we just learned that last year. And my other, she's the youngest one in my class. She's only 19. Everybody else is more like 20, 30, 40. In other words, they've been out of school so long, it's like a lifetime ago. But for this kid, she could still remember stuff that because it was just a few months ago. She was just in high school a few months ago, and now she's in college.
Wow.
Anyway, she and her mother are going to college at the same time. So that's what's happening. And then both of them are in the same class. And in order for the mother to get her daughter to go to college, the daughter said, well, you didn't go to college, and look what happened to you. You're doing just fine. Oh yeah, if I go to college, you go to college. That was the deal. So that's how she got her daughter to go to college with her. It's like dragging her along. And it worked too.
Wow.
She goes, you're not going to end up like me. You're going to make more money than I do. So therefore, she's dragging her daughter to go to college so that both of them with the same last name are in my class, competing with each other. So it's interesting. I once had an entire family like that because the mother and the father, neither of them had gone to college. And then the kids are like, well, if you didn't go to college, so the whole family, all 4 of them ended up in my class.
I have a question.
All of them competing. That was
about the narrative essay.
That's actually fun. But that's how people,
So if I have more
use
than
themselves as role
5 to
models.
7
You could say,
sentences,
your kid
like
says,
for my
well,
final
I'm not
draft,
going to
like
be
I
good at
should
college.
definitely
And you'll
try
be
to
like,
cut
well,
that
if I
down.
can do it, anybody can do it. Okay, let's go to college. And so everyone's in college. So that's basically what happened. So anyway, since you have no questions, I'll see you all next week.
I have a question.
Sure, go ahead.
About the narrative essay. So if I have more than 5 to 7 sentences, like for my final draft, like I should definitely try to cut that down.
Yes. And then you gotta, because this is
What
not
if
a
I
story.
combine
If
some
you write a
sentences with,
story,
like, a
then you can have
semicolon, so it's
really lengthy
technically one
paragraphs
sentence.
because it's not about your topic. It's more about, in other words, when we write an essay, we make a claim and we want to back up that claim with our body
I'm trying to cut it
When we
down,
write
and
a
I went
story,
back and
we're just
reread
telling
it
the
after
events of what
like
happened
a
to
while.
us. And then everyone's going,
And I was
wow,
able to take
is
some
that
sentences
out?
out,
So?
but I'm like,
Ooh,
oh, I think I'm gonna like
that's
put
a story.
semicolon here. What if I combine some sentences with like a semicolon, so it's technically one sentence?
You're much more sophisticated than the average student that I'm teaching in both schools combined.
I'm trying to cut it down, and I went back and reread it after like a while, and I was able to take some sentences out, but I'm like, oh, I think I'm gonna like put a
The fact that you even
semicolon
know
here.
about putting sentences
Okay.
together with semicolons, as well as combining anything with the same subject. If I say Jane is French, Jane went to school, Jane is a girl, Jane. Well, we can combine all of that with Jane, who is a girl, which, that, and whose. So you can combine all of that. As long as you don't go beyond a compound complex sentence, that's fine.
Okay.
You see, so if I already can say that, then you're way ahead of everybody else who's going, what's that? What's a compound complex? Well, I remember my teacher said that in second grade, but I don't remember what that is. I know what a sentence is, but I don't know what the other two. What's a compound? That's the average student. She can understand or remember what a sentence and not a sentence. That's it. If I were to say an alligator is, the average student will know that's not a sentence. If I say an alligator is lives in Florida or something like that. Yeah, that sounds about right. That's the average level of my students, because that's all people remember. What's a noun different from an adjective, from an adverb? By now you should know that because we've gone over that. But the average student coming in goes, oh, I remember Mrs. Smith told us about that. And Mrs. Smith was wearing a pink dress. That's it. But they remember she taught them. Yeah, you remember the outfit. You remember that she had bubble gum in her hair, that sort of thing. And that's it. But you also know she taught you that basic grammar that you don't remember. So that's what people remember. Is when that means you were daydreaming the day that somebody said people, place, or because I was daydreaming, and then my teacher said, "What is a noun?" Yvonne, what's a noun? And so for the rest of my life, I remember a noun is a person, place, or thing, because when I wasn't paying attention, I had to she put bubble gum on my, I was caught chewing bubble gum, and I had to wear it on my nose for the rest of the day. And because I didn't quite know the answer that it was a person, place, or thing. So now I forever burned in my head forever. It's person, place, or thing, So after that, I paid attention to that. Teacher required you got to always pay attention. And after she did that to me, everybody paid attention to her. That sort of thing. For the rest of the year, nobody wanted this, and you had to walk around like that during recess and have everyone laugh at you too. That was also part of it. That was also part. Back then you could do that. I guess you can't do that now, but back then you could. So they could also hit you on the hand. So that's how far back I go. Anyway, so do you have any questions? No? Okay. So I'll see you all next week for week 6. Yeah, week 6. And we will go over sentence structure. And
I saw that.
If you are a stronger writer, it's a good idea to help the other students with the peer review, to help them with and I already just gave some, because somebody asked, what do you do with a peer review? Because no one seems to be doing it right. So I think, so anyway, I put in a lot of advice, and I also made a little infographic of what is peer review. I just did that today.
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah. So hopefully people get the idea that you give an actionable suggestion. You would say, Donna, you need to put your thesis statement as the last sentence of the first paragraph. Or Ralph, your sentences are not very well structured. You need to have a subject, verb, and object. All you have is just a subject and a verb. That's a sentence fragment. So you're going to get points off for that sort of thing. If you're not that good, so that's one of the reasons why I want people to try to remember the stuff they learn in quizzes so they can apply it. It's one thing to memorize your rules, know it for a quiz, and then tomorrow you forget about it. So what I want you to do is try to remember enough of those grammar rules to look at other people's papers and try to see if you can, and if you can't figure it out, you can always put it through Grammarly, okay? And then Grammarly will then tell you, and then you could put the results of Grammarly onto, if you're stuck, okay? So Grammarly, and also Grammarly also uses AI too. It's just Grammarly came before ChatGPT. So Grammarly is the parent, sort of like the, it's the predecessor of ChatGPT. If you use ChatGPT correctly, then it's not cheating. The only time it's cheating is if you just say, write a 5-paragraph essay about whatever topic in ChatGPT, and then turn it in, it's going to come out with 100% AI, and you end up with 0. So it's not like they can't, turn it in originally could not tell the difference between, but they're getting much better now because it's their job. At first they were like, oh, people can get away with it. And now it's getting much better and stuff like that because ChatGPT writes in a certain pattern. And so a certain sentence pattern and something like that, no matter how many times you regenerate it. So, so somebody did that 100%. So so you got to be careful. So you could use it for idea generation, like write an outline, and for revision. So let's say you already wrote your outline, you already wrote your essay, and then you put it through and you cut and paste your essay into ChatGPT, and you ask ChatGPT to either give you feedback or correct all your grammar mistakes. That's fine. Or if you said, write in third-person case, and then you cut and paste your essay, and then ChatGPT will generate an essay in third-person case, or it will generate an essay with no you in it. That's fine. So if you use it for revision in the same way you use Grammarly, that's fine. It's only if you ask it to do your work for you. That's when it's plagiarism. Do you know that? Do you understand?
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Anyway,
you.
that's the policy that my other school has. So I figure since the other school can do it, you could do it. And I've been reading up on it as well. So I hope that you guys have a great week, and I'll see you next week for the last quiz. Then you're done with all the grammar for forever for this class. Okay?
Oh, okay.
Okay. See you next week.
Thank
Bye.
you.
You're welcome.